Not too long ago, I uploaded a video basically just telling you guys about how my upload schedule was going to be affected by school, and and just asking for your suggestions on what you want me to draw. And one of the suggestions that really stood out to me on that video, like one of the comments, was from a YouTuber called Chubbybots, and I've actually been a very big fan of his for a really long time, but so it's an honor that he is actually commenting on my videos and things. But he suggested to me I try drawing some dragons from Monster Hunter, I believe, and I didn't really know what Monster Hunter was, so I went to Google and I pretty much just looked up Monster Hunter dragons and looked through some of the pictures, and I have to say they're pretty cool. So today I'm going to be drawing not one of the existing Monster Hunter dragons, but I'm going to be drawing kind of my own Monster Hunter style dragon, I guess, and seeing how that goes. I've come up with a design that I really like, and I may change a few things from the original last minute, but most of the original design will probably still be the same. So yeah, hopefully this goes well. Let's get started. Now I went back and edited like the rest of the video. Like I went ahead and recorded the intro, outro, and the middle drawing bit that you're watching right now before I recorded this, and this is actually being recorded a few hours after the rest of the video had been fully completed. But I noticed when I edited it that this video was going to be closer to 11 minutes than 10 minutes, which is kind of strange because most of my videos are supposed to be about 10 minutes long, and I vary just a little bit, but I try not to get like a full minute over normal, but I guess whatever. My speed paint videos have been a little bit over, I think, but that's okay. But onto the dragon. I really like this design. When I went to look up like Monster Hunter dragons and whatnot, one thing that I noticed was that they all have kind of like this super detailed design to them, and I knew just enough about Monster Hunter to know that the creatures and dragons and monsters and whatever are super detailed, and like they're really good looking. But I don't play the game personally, so I don't really know a lot about the lore or the designs of the monsters. I just know that everything's super detailed and super cool looking, and so I wanted to kind of in keep with that super detailed design, and have the dragon just have lots of spikes and claws and like just a lot of things going on when to look at when you're looking at the drawing. And I think I pulled that off fairly well. So in the little time-lapse bit, you're watching me at this moment draw the wings, and the wings were super fun because I had to make them like curve downwards. I wanted to have them folded mostly, so I curved them downwards and stuff like that. And the dragon's head is kind of like, if you remember back to the Earth dragon, it kind of has like that hammer-shaped horn in the front of its on the front of its face, but then it's got like two giant tusk-like spikes coming out of the bottom, and that was one of the image results. That's inspired from one of the image results from when I searched like Monster Hunter dragons and whatever. I saw one that had these massive tusks coming down, and I was like, ooh, that's really cool, I want to do that. So that's inspired from that. And I had the original idea was for me to have big, just like these. You can see it on the back of the neck there, right before the wings. It's like a spine like protrusion, and it just kind of like goes down in layers, almost like each layer of the spine of the dragon's spine is kind of like sticking out and forms these kind of spikes. That was the original plan, but that kind of requires me to kind of like flip the page over and draw upside down and whatever. And I wasn't going to try and do that while on the actual time lapse. So I just settled for just like these square spikes going down. But another thing I noticed about the dragon, or the Monster Hunter dragons, is that they had no shortage of just spikes everywhere. And I noticed a few that had spikes like sticking out of their forearms, just kind of like with flesh connecting them, and they were kind of at an angle coming out. And so I'm demonstrating it, but you can't even see my arm. But I tried to get that in there and kind of like have them at an angle, and make it look like the flesh was kind of connecting the spike to kind of keep it there. And the fingers are another thing that I really like, fingers and toes, I guess, and that's because they kind of come out, and then they have like this big spike, like square spike type thing on the front, and then their little claw comes out of there, and that's pretty cool. The arms are really big and bulky, and I really actually kind of like that, because without it you wouldn't really get that brutish, like destructive, just raw physical strength feel from it. And the forearms are really disproportionately large, and I actually kind of like that. But I've also got spikes coming out of the chest facing up, so the dragon could probably like run up to something and like give it a big bear hug and stab it with its chest spike. I don't know. And the thighs also have big, or just tiny, not really big, I say big, but they've just got tiny little spikes coming out of the front of the thigh, and that's just to kind of keep it looking not so bland. And the biceps and the shoulders, you can see, also have the spikes, the small tiny spikes coming out. And the knee is the same way, the calf is the same way. I just put little tiny spiky bits everywhere, just to like give your eyes something to be interested in. And so yeah, I really like how this design turned out and how it looks and feels, and you can really kind of feel the texture of the dragons, like if you were to run your hand across its thigh or its bicep or something like that. Like you could feel the little spikes sticking out and just kind of like scraping across your hand or whatever. But yeah, I really like it, and I hope you guys do too. And thank you to Chubbybots for suggesting this, because I had a lot of fun designing it. I was sitting in my class at school doodling, trying to come up with the design for this. But yeah, overall I really think it's cool, and I hope you guys do too. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. There's about a minute or so left to the time lapse, and I'll just leave you with that. I tried to get all the way through, but I've pretty much said all I need to say. So yeah, I'll see you in a minute. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's pretty much it. I'm really happy with this dragon, and I really think it looks cool, and I hope you guys do too. And wings probably too small for it to get off the ground. I really like the head, the two like tusks almost coming out of the bottom of its face. I really like the kind of spikes coming out of the forearms here, and how like they look when they're coming out of the forearms. But overall, I really think it's a cool design, and I hope you guys like it too. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have time for today. So subscribe if you haven't, leave a like on the video if you like it, dislike if you didn't, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.